Let's make a salad and talk about trust. So it's some loose leaf lettuce. Let's add some pepper. In ancient societies, people had to trust each other. Our survival depended on it. That's what I read. We lived in small communities, and our survival depended on all of us sharing our food, raising our children together. And by the way, nobody gave a shit about paternity, okay? This whole I know and I know it's my seed is bullshit. It's for men who hate children, okay? There, I said it. Anyone who loves children is happy to marry a woman that has children. But if they hate children, anyway, so we lived in tribes where if I catch a deer, I share it with the whole tribe because our whole survival depends on you sharing the deer when you catch it. And the women were the main gatherers of food. It wasn't the men because they hardly ever caught anything. It was the women. Okay, so we needed trust. Well, trust is not so helpful because there's so many charlatans out there and people who lie and deceive and less accountability, whatever it is. And so I think that it's really nice to be in a family. One thing I liked about being in my family is that I could trust the people in my family. I'm fortunate that I got to live with people who kept their word and who cared about me and who were consistent and reliable and didn't try to hurt me and provided for me. I've always had men provide for me. So I know what it's like to feel trust. I'm going to get into what happens if you never experience that. But I had to learn that the world is not like my family or like maybe a small community in the Midwest you grew up in. So that's why men have to be vetted because we're very vulnerable. We got to vet these guys and we can't tell when we see you, any of you men, I don't know if you're the charlatan running game on me or if you're the legitimate guy I can trust, unless I know how to feel the trust in my body. But even then, a man has to be consistent over time to show me that he really is interested and that he's trustworthy. So that's why a lot of ladies get into problems with men who just use words, not action. They fall. This is why. This is kind of related to the other video I made where I said that women are sexually repulsed by most men. A lot of women have bad pickers. They have bad pickers because they go by a man's looks, his charm, and his words. These men are typically players and fuckboys, and women who were raised in homes where they were never got to experience that feeling of trust. They fall for the charlatans, the pickup artists, and the charmers. Now, the way that children know trust is they're raised by parents who are consistent, reliable, who give them structure, routine, safety. They might not be rich, but you know their parents are trying to give you food and clothing, a regular bedtime, you get to school on time, you have support for your schoolwork, they care about you. I mean, I think we were all emotionally neglected to some point, to some extent, but home was a safe, reliable place. Some people don't like being at home. Some people do not like being home. I've known women who hated being home. They always want to go. They always want to travel. I think they never got to experience home as a safe place or the feeling of trust. Now, the only way you guys can, and these women pick men who lead them on by their words because they don't know how to feel trust. So this is how you can tell if a guy's trustworthy. You feel it in your body. I have made the mistake of bypassing that because I know what it's like, feels like when a man is trustworthy. When a man is trustworthy, I'm very calm. I don't have to talk to him for days, whether I was married or not. There was a guy I hooked up with a couple years ago. I saw once a week. I felt very secure because I could he was trustworthy. Even after we stopped our hookup thing, he was still trying to take me to a ball game. You know, like he was just a decent guy. this young infantry guy, actually. But I've had other guys where I've felt so like anxiety or this abandoning energy. Now, adults can abandon you, they can leave you, but they can't abandon you. Children can be abandoned, but adults cannot be abandoned. But I have felt that abandonment energy. It's like a whoosh. When I feel that, I used to ignore it and try to be okay with it, but now I know, even when the guy wasn't with me, I could feel it. Now I know that's a signal the guy is not trustworthy. Listen to your body. Now, if you grew up in a home where you didn't get to experience trust, I have an idea that could help, which is, how can you give yourself that feeling of trusting someone? Maybe you can think about someone that you have trusted, who had your best interests at heart, who was reliable, who cared about you, who kept their word, who never betrayed you, never abused you, never left you. It could be an uncle, a grandparent, a teacher, maybe your pet. I don't know. You can try all these on and see, remember that feeling you had around that person, how it felt in your body. And that's the feeling that a man should give us in order to be worthy of our trust. In addition to that, guys, the reason you have to show interest in a woman, for a woman to be interested in you, the reason you have to do the approaching is because of that same energy I talked about with the strip club. It is counter to feminine energy, as us being the prey, really the vulnerable ones, to go up to men we don't know. It's not safe, it's not ladylike, and it works against the principle of trust. It's really up to the man to show his interest and to pursue the woman over time. Of course, she has to be receptive, but a woman's receptivity to you is going to increase over time with your consistent input. This is the natural order of things. I know men don't want to hear it because a lot of men want to be feminized, woke cowards, frankly. I'm going to just put it on the line. You have to open the woman. Now, the woman can't be rude. She can't dismiss you. If she doesn't return your calls, forget about her. What I'm trying to say, though, is you can't expect to go up to a woman and say, do you want to fuck, and have her jump all out with joy. If you want to fuck the woman, legitimately the best way is through a relationship. And for a woman to trust you enough, you've got to show interest in her and show that you're trustworthy. It's up to you to prove that you're trustworthy. And part of being trustworthy is being consistently interested in a way that's caring and respectful. Otherwise, you could just be a fuckboy or a player, and a woman who grew up feeling trust is going to expect to feel trust around you, to feel cared about by you. Now, you as a man can expect that the woman will be kind, appreciative, interested, but she's not going to be willing to jump on your dick as much as you want to get in her pussy. And that's a natural order of things. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of men a lot of men are used to getting on the app. There's the porn, there's the phone. Oh, I don't feel like going to the store for toothpaste or for my McDonald's. I'll just call DoorDash to bring me my toothpaste or my McDonald's. That's, I'll go on a dating app and woman by number. Not to disparage those who have met women on dating apps, that does happen. But if you've been on there for more than a few months and you haven't met anyone, maybe try getting out, talking to women in real life. A woman is not a convenience store item that you can have delivered at the drop of a finger. She requires your presence, your energy, your interest. And a lot of men have gotten way too lazy, and a lot of women have gotten way too easy. But that's the natural order of things. And if you want a woman who grew up a healthy woman, now, That's what it's going to take. A woman like me, now I'm not saying you guys want me, I'm way too old, but that's what it would take to get me. A man would have to have some courage. He would have to put some energy in. I'm not easy. I'm not easy. That's why you guys like my videos. That's why you like my voice. I think that a natural woman is going to have a pleasing voice, pleasing demeanor, and she's not going to be easy. And guess what? A woman like me doesn't cheat on you, doesn't throw herself at other men, doesn't seek validation from other men, doesn't parade naked all over Instagram. I have it just for fans, but you have to pay. It's $35 a month. And I do not want anyone on there for $5 a month seeing me naked. That, just for fans, is a sensual erotic page, but that's because I need to provide for myself, and I don't want to work very much. I do not believe in working very much. I like a stress-free life, and I don't have tension in my body because I just like my life to be fun. But trust is very important, and men have to prove that they're trustworthy. And ladies, a lot of ladies are getting themselves into situations with men who are controlling, abusive, manipulative, players, users. And the solution to that is to feel in your body how you actually feel. And that might be, you might be like, what do you mean feel in my body? That could be a new concept. Is to just start noticing when you're mad, like where do I feel that in my body? Or if you feel anxious, or you feel disappointed, or you feel abandoned, or you feel jealous, or you're curious, or you're happy, you feel loved, appreciated. Maybe just get a book of like feeling words, look up feeling words. Just start noticing how you feel, even the main ones of fear, happiness, anger, sadness. You know, oh this guy said he would call me and he didn't. I feel very sad. Okay, do you want to be with the guy who makes you feel sad? Dump him. You know, unless he had a good reason. Your feeling is telling you he's blowing you off. Or, you know, this guy always does exactly what he says. I feel very secure with him. Okay, that's a good sign. Or, you know, for example, those are some good signs to look for. And guys, when you ask women out, is she happy to see you? You know, is she happy that you're interested in her? Is she appreciating your interest? That's what you guys want to look for. That she responds to you and she appreciates your interest. If you're moving too quick, she'll have you slow down. But she's going to appreciate your interest. She's not blowing you off. If the woman blows you off, how do you feel? You feel mad. Let yourself feel mad. You feel disappointed. You feel sad. A woman should not make you feel sad. Next. That's just what I think, but your situation may be different. I'm just maybe giving extreme examples. Maybe you're mad because you have a short fuse. I don't know. Or, you know, he didn't call you because he's at work and you made up a story. But I'm pretty emotionally there together. So for me, those are good signs to go for. But people who have a lot of reactivity or emotional trauma may not be able to use those. So here's my salad. It doesn't look the best, but it's going to be yummy. Here's my salad, and I'll show you how it looks on the plate with the pizza.